Topher, Cecily Strong has got to be one of my all-time, I would say top 10 performers on SNL all time.
Yeah,
Cracks me up.
I think she has been so amazing her whole time on that show. And then the last 2 years, she's pulled into some gear that is blowing my mind. And I was so excited when she came to do our show. And this is one of the few times I have a lot of fun doing this podcast. But this is one of the few times I like almost wet myself.
Me too. I was going to say the same thing.
Like, she is very funny always, but then when we're doing ASMR, which I had no idea what that is, and you'll get in the episode, I learn a lot about it. But what she does towards the end is like
one of the funniest moments of my. I was crying. You can hear everyone dying.
That's the problem. Is the microphones are so sensitive to the ASMR. You can hear us all cracking up, but she is just mind-blowingly good and cool. And anyway, enjoy Cecily.
If my Lyft driver is listening, I'm sorry to repeat myself. I went to school out here.
Where'd you go?
I went to Cal Arts.
I went to USC.
Classic rivals. So I've been out here for back and forth for like 17 years.
Sorry to do this is such a typical podcast opening, but you were where did you come from?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Right at Oak Park.
Did you do the comedy thing before? You probably did comedy in Chicago, right?
I was a very serious theater actress for a long time.
Love the way you said that.
Thank you.
I think that's like saying I live in a mansion. You go like, oh, this can't be that big a house, right?
And I do live in a mansion.
Right. Oh, okay. Wow. No, congrats.
In my head, it's a mansion.
And you're both LA and New York? How fancy.
Yes.
But if
in
you
both mansions.
If you wow, 2 mansions.
Yeah.
Bi-coastal mansions.
Yeah.
When did you become like funny? Like really aware of your funny?
I think I was always funny.
You're always funny.
Yeah. I think that's like I'm like, can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you were at Cal Arts, when was the time you said, okay, now I'm going to try?
Well, when I was at Cal Arts, I was still like trying to do serious theater. And then we were doing a scene from Angels in America, because when I was 18, everybody wanted to do Angels in America. And I was playing Harper, and it was that scene where it's like, where he comes in and she's like, are you a homo? And people were laughing. And that was like, oh, maybe this is like, but I think now a lot of comedy too is like when real people are like dealing with their own life emotions. That's funny to us.
Meaning that was a sign to you because that the audience was laughing.
Well, then my teacher kept saying after that, Lou Palter, who was my teacher, who was in the movie Titanic, of the old couple that decided to drown together. But after that year, he said that he was like, you have to go to the Groundlings or something. And I was like,
oh, you went to the Groundlings out here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just for a year. And then I moved back to Chicago.
I thought you kill it on SNL. You're great. And then somewhere in the last 2 seasons, you started like just pulling into some other gear that's like...
I think it's like, I never saw myself as an impressionist. So I think it was like, it helps when you have people that make you do them more, I think.
Was that mean people were saying you're right for this, even though you might not think you're right for it?
Yeah, Brian Tucker always. I did Sarah Koenig with him. And I wanted to write the serial thing with him. But then I was like, but I shouldn't play her because I don't do impressions. And then I was like, oh, I think I can because I've listened to it so much.
I had the opposite experience. I hosted SNL a long time ago. And I got there and I was like, so excited. You know, everyone, the host is going through the same experience every week. And then someone was like, so I guess it was Steve Higgins. It probably still is, right? It was like, so what impressions do you do? And I was like, oh, wait a second. Like, I thought I'd be good on SNL because I watched it.
Yeah.
That does not mean that I know that I'm the right person for it. I was like, I don't do any impressions. And then, I do none. And then he said, all right, but like what voices or like accents do you do? And I was like, none. Just kind of like, if you hold the camera really tight on me, I do some kind of like emotional stuff, but it's quiet, The other experience I had was that you're really bringing back for me is I didn't know if it was going well. And there's this weird relationship between the host and the cast where you can't ask them if it's going well.
Yeah. Well, I can never tell. I think we just don't know either. I don't know if if like the Venn diagram, I always think of like what I find funny and what the audience finds funny, if it's ever going to
No, you know. Come on.
I
At this
don't.
point, I'm
No,
sure.
especially with like the people that are in the studio that night. I have no idea. And sometimes,
Oh, meaning the audience at home has a different reaction than the audience in the studio?
yeah. Some things just die on the floor.
But
And
does
you're
anything
like,
that dies
don't
on
worry, there's 3 more minutes of this. If you don't like that, just wait.
does anything that dies on the floor, though, people think it's good at home? That can't be. It could be that people go nuts in the studio and then at home,
Right.
it wasn't as funny. But it can't be the other way.
I feel like it has been. I don't know. But it's probably more like people that call themselves comedy nerds or something that say that they went crazy at home. They probably didn't, but I think they like to say that they did, maybe.
Right. Those are the same people who don't watch it,
Right.
but watch it.
Yeah. They write about it.
I remember, I said a thing to Lauren when I was there. I was like, I just started living in New York. I got an apartment there, and I was like, it's funny. Everyone here talks about not having a TV, but then everyone's like talking about me being on SNL. So he's like, how's that working? And he's like, I don't do the impression of Lauren, but
Everyone had. It's fine.
I can't, but I would be the worst. And he just said like, oh yeah, it's like kind of saying now you have to do it.
I know,
you have to do it in the voice.
I've never heard anyone
not do it.
Not do it. This is the first time.
He was like, can't do it. You're such a good impression. Oh my God. He's like, it's like saying I don't have a toaster or whatever.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I think that's the worst Lauren impression.
No, I've heard so many.
Do you know what the adventure is that we're going to do?
No.
Good, because none of our guests know. And
I know. This is what
how do you feel about not knowing?
Terrified. I'm terrified.
Okay, as you should be. I think this is actually a pretty easy one.
I have
don't think
every
you should
anxiety on earth. Okay.
It's the hottest thing going right now.
How do you feel about skydiving?
Yeah, great. I'll watch you do it.
This adventure is sometimes referred to as a brain orgasm. Any guesses on what it could be?
What is it? Is ASMR?
ASMR, yes.
Wait,
we are going on an ASMR
How did you guess
adventure.
that?
That's amazing.
Isn't ASMR?
Because
Look,
I'm
I know
crazy.
nothing about it. But I know nothing about it. Isn't it just you're talking in a microphone and you
like that. And they do. And then they like open things.
But how is that an orgasm for your brain?
We'll find out more from Carly, who's coming in. She's an immersive artist, so she actually runs the Whisper Lodge when she oversees something called Whisper Lodge. It's an immersive ASMR experience. So ASMR, autonomous sensory meridian response, is a sensory phenomenon, a feeling of well-being combined with a tingling sensation in the scalp and down the back of the neck as experienced by some people in response to a specific gentle stimulus, like a sound.
People touch you?
No.
The sound.
No, the sound actually,
People
yeah.
touch you.
But we'll find out.
Not that I have a problem with that, but wait, before we go get her, like, I know some of these I know something about.
I feel like I
adventure.
know.
Tell me what you know.
Okay. So I knew that. For some reason at one point I thought Molly Shannon was like on the Wikipedia page about it. But I don't think she is now because I've looked it up again. And I remember
I gotta
used
know
to
about
tell
your
that
internet
as a
searches.
fact.
Your internet searches are
I'm
amazing.
telling you, I don't leave my house. I'm crazy. I stay home and drink and I look up weird things and watch.
Wow. Once on this island, all white cast.
Yeah.
And Molly Shannon ASMR.
She's not there anymore. I don't think she has a connection to it.
I don't even know what we're talking about with ASMR.
You can open envelopes. People will eat pickles. People will.
And people have like a physical reaction to this.
That's what they think. Molly Shannon.
Like a tingling
Yeah,
reaction.
Molly Shannon is sitting at home, opening a bag of Pringles
Having brain orgasm.
and having an orgasm. By the way, let's get Molly on the show. Is that possible?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Let's ask her about it. Let's
ask her about
She's our other expert today.
All right, I'm going to go ahead.
All right. You've never tried it?
I mean, I've heard it so much. I honestly find it so bizarre.
All right. So let us begin here. So I hope you don't mind getting a mind orgasm real quick. Yeah. Sorry, it was described as a mind orgasm to us. Is that true? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Actually, the original name for it before they came up with ASMR was attention-induced head orgasm, but that didn't really stick.
I mean, if you named it that, I think you'd have a lot more
I
people that
know.
are
Why
interested.
wouldn't that
Yeah.
stick?
I mean, I guess they wanted to make it more of like a non-sexual thing. But people describe
Now,
it as a.
am I remembering something crazy? Has anyone ever said it's like the feeling when you finally sneeze? Has anyone ever said that?
I haven't heard
Okay,
that. But
no. So that's
feels
not true.
like it's just like a satisfying feeling like that. Yeah.
Okay, maybe someone has said that.
No, that was actual orgasm. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Wait, I am a total novice. I think Cecily knows a little bit about it, or kind of like I have some of these adventures. I understand what we're doing before we, or I'm excited, and I am excited about this. But I actually need it kind of like defined. You started off great for me. Tell me like how you got into this, how like humans got into this.
Sure. So I will start with the definition of what ASMR stands for. Those 4 letters stand for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. So yeah, it's totally clear, right?
Yeah,
No.
mind orgasm is way better.
Yeah, it's autonomous because it happens to you whether you want it to or not. You can't control it. Sensory because it has to do with the senses. Meridian, which means the spine, and response because you're responding to stimuli.
Okay.
So it's basically
I think that's the fanciest way to say orgasm. Basically, is
Yeah.
ASMR, right?
Yeah, so it's basically like a warm, tingly sensation that people feel in response to certain stimuli, most often soft sounds like whispering or sounds made with objects. But it can be in response to any of the 5 senses, not just sound, but that's what we'll be focusing on today because it's a podcast.
Okay, so
It's not just sound. That's new to me.
Yeah, what else is it?
You can do it through visual stimuli or tactile touch sensations. Even just thinking about it for some people can elicit that response.
Whoa.
Yeah. I've seen those people on the bus.
Just sitting there thinking
Classic
about it.
ASMR.
But I think the populace general, it's like a sound thing, right? Because is that the easiest way to experience it?
Yeah, so people watch YouTube videos and they get the response from the sounds that the ASMR artist on YouTube is making, and also from visual stimuli in the video.
What's like a visual thing that would go with the sound?
Like if, for example, if you see, I just watched a video last night of an ASMR artist rubbing somebody else's back, and you can kind of imagine how that would feel if it was being done to you.
Got it.
Because of the mirror neurons in the brain. If you see somebody else experiencing a sensation, you kind of start to get the feeling of it as well.
Quick aside.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be really interesting, instead of just having a massage parlor, which is great. I love getting massages. Got a back scratch parlor.
Yeah.
Where do we come down on that?
I would be so into that.
I don't know. I mean, I just,
Oh,
but I'm
it's
not
less it's more creepy than getting a massage?
yeah.
Why?
Just like, that feels like it's more for you than for the person getting, then it's like, who,
like I
you
want
to
to
scratch back.
No, I don't mean I start the back scratch parlor. I mean like if there were back scratch parlors.
But
it
I
doesn't have
would-
to be your nails. You put on some press on nails.
I
You
know.
go
I
out there,
I
you
don't
do it.
trust anybody. So I would assume, not just you, I'd be like, anyone who's doing it, I'd be like, what are they getting out of it?
What about massages?
It takes a lot for me to trust.
Oh, you don't like massages?
It's a hard thing.
I think it's less physical contact than massages. That doesn't make it more creepy, right?
I think if it was like someone I knew and was comfortable with.
Well, I think you don't like both ideas, massage parlor or
No, I don't. No.
back scratch parlor.
I mean, it's not that I don't like them. To each his own.
How good would that feel, though?
I would love that.
I know, right? Well, yeah, you seem like you're in the right line of business.
Yeah. So the company I work with, Whisper Lodge, does live ASMR events. So it's kind of taking this phenomenon that started on YouTube and bringing it into the real world so we can use all 5 senses. We have kind of an immersive theater show that's based around ASMR.
Wait a second. Are you telling me there's a place I can go where someone gives me a back scratch and I listen to sounds and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
Theater.
What if
Hold on. We've come full circle.
what if this is like like a podcast I started to do adventures, but then I get way too into this one. You know what I mean? I go off the deep end and I become like an ASMR guy. Because sometimes I think like, how great would that be? Like right now, if I had like a scalp massage, it'd be great. So, I mean, no one has to give me a scalp massage here today. I just want to make that perfectly clear. We're just going to do
I'm
sounds.
into scalp massage. I will say that. I do like when my hair gets done.
I used to remember in like fourth grade when they come around and like
Love
someone's
it.
looking for lice, because there's like lice in the school.
yes.
They're doing like a lice check. I used to love that. I was like, I don't know. Keep going. Like I've been feeling a little something up there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people's like first experience with the ASMR feeling is like when they're like getting a haircut when they're a kid, and it's like, why does this feel so relaxing?
Little girls always like braid each other's hair in classes. So I was like, I can never cut my hair because I need it to be braided in class.
Or if there's someone shampooing your hair, could they do the opposite of this? Do like scary stuff? I mean, that I guess is what scary movies are, right?
Yeah,
Like Saw is the opposite of ASMR, but you're still having a reaction to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Roseanne national anthem. That's the opposite.
That is right. All right, so wait, how do we do this?
It can happen with props, or it can happen with the voice alone. If you watch ASMR videos, you'll notice that the ASMR artists are usually whispering because it's a very kind of soft and quiet focus. A lot of there have been some scientific studies on ASMR recently, and it's believed that this sensation is a result of having focused personal attention on you, and that's what makes it so pleasant. Not anything
That is also
specific about.
That's what I love about Hollywood too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like this.
Great.
So I'm gonna just whisper in your ear, and if everything is working correctly, you should just be hearing this in your left ear. And now in your right. I can tap on it with my fingers.
Okay, let me just take a second here before we go too deep into this. Basically, I didn't realize we're already hooked into this speaker system. Or what is this that you're holding?
It's a binaural microphone. So
Oh, it's a microphone that has a lot of wires going into it that has two human ears on each side. And I guess, I hope this is, you can hear this at home. One of them was, she spoke into our left ear and we heard it in our left ear, right? And then she spoke in the right ear, heard it in the right ear. And then she was tapping on, I mean, it really felt like, I get where you're coming from now.
yeah, a lot of the ASMR YouTubers use these binaural microphones, so the people that watch their videos feel like they're really there, having their ears being whispered into.
Let's do it. Is there anything I have to do, or I just sit back and just chill and enjoy?
Yeah, just sit back, chill, and enjoy. I'll just do a little demonstration of one of my favorite props, and then you can kind of pick some objects out that you want to practice with. Practice your whisper, and
Wait, let me try one whisper first into this thing.
Sure.
I mean, I can't tell you how weird this thing is that she has two human ears, but this is a microphone essentially, right?
yeah.
That was me. And now I'm doing it.
I can hear it in my own head, so it's really weird.
Hey, Cecily.
Oh, hi.
This is the voice inside of you.
No, mine's mean.
You should kill a dog.
No.
Murder a dog on the way home from work today.
Fuses.
I think you should use your powers for good and not evil.
No, that's where you first went.
Kill a bad dog.
Okay.
The bounty hunter.
Give me a little whisper. Give me a whisper in here. Get inside my head.
Okay, but I'm only gonna speak into our left ears. Because I'm insane.
Already, I'm feeling that thing she was talking about, where you're. I feel isolated, even though it's just audio. Do you know what I mean? Like I isolated in a good way. Like I just feel very sitting here like we were all in a group, and now I'm like whoop, in my own little thing. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like meditative, and it's A lot of people use it to like help them fall asleep and just relax and de-stress.
I listen to true crime podcast to fall asleep.
I do too.
Gotta have some murder. I have a question for you. What about accents? I have an awful Chicago accent sometimes.
What does that sound like?
There's like, I got a friend, Bron O'Connor, who has a big guy sausage stand that he works at. And it's just like, you say, I got 100 guys over there. It's just like that. Mom, dad, my brother's Nat.
I think that's great. Like,
I mean, but is that...
Just for the listener, Cecily just started crying.
Thank you. Can you say it into there? I think that's great.
I think that's great.
Thank you. But people normally don't have an accent when they do it, right?
I don't know. I was just watching videos from this famous ASMR YouTuber who has a British accent.
South African's a harsh accent. That'd be hard.
Yeah, but British would be amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can have a calming presence with any accent.
Let's try a South African.
All right.
It's not great. I have to try to remember how to do it. I think it's sort of like that.
Yeah.
They are really hitting their consonants hard. Yes.
I feel like I'm watching Out of Africa.
But can you whisper with a South African accent? A bit harder.
I gotta say that's not as relaxing as I would have liked. Yeah. All right, I'm ready.
So I'm going to do a little demonstration
Yeah,
with my
fuck us
hairbrush.
up. Let's do it. Hairbrush.
This is hairbrush.
But just so the listener knows, it is a wooden hairbrush with, it seems, wooden bristles.
I have with me a wooden hairbrush. I'm tapping my fingers on the back of the brush. I can pick the bristles with my fingernails. And now I'm going to brush my hair. The sound of the brush going through my hair kind of reminds me of the ocean. And now my hair is fully brushed, so I'm going to put the brush away.
That's really an experience. When you started combing your hair, it was like, I didn't even know that had a sound, but then I was like, oh, of course it has a sound.
Right. Like when you have such a sensitive microphone, you'll find sounds and things that you thought were silent. It's pretty cool.
But you kind of, it's like, maybe it's like the difference between our two lives. Like, you lead like a quiet interior life as a human, and then you lead a performer life. Whether or not you're a performer like me and Cecily, you wind up, like it seems like it's really geared at like the private self. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
It feels like you're talking to me. Like ASMR is like you are definitely talking to one human, right?
Yeah.
Even some of the stuff you were saying, you're talking to one person.
Yeah, it's like totally all about individual attention.
Cecily, what was your reaction?
I feel like my brain is maybe too loud. Maybe for it. Like I don't meditate. Like my meditation, honestly, it's like true crime and
you go to the gun range, you
and
just pop
puzzles
off a couple
and
rounds.
shooting. I do a lot of puzzles.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sort of like how I think I'm a more maybe visual like that. I like math, just like solving problems.
Yeah.
That's sort of calming for
Like
me.
getting the right answer is really satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something I noticed also is you must, you have to be really careful. This institute you work at, you gotta be really careful around like a bunch of creeps coming around, right? Because it's like, there's some weirdness, I'm sure, that can kind of bleed into this.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to kink shame anyone, but
Thank you.
like, there are definitely a lot of
You and your puzzles. I mean, we all know what that's
That's
about.
a big secret.
yeah. There's a lot of people that like see ASMR as like a sexual thing or like misunderstand it that way. But that's definitely not the main intention.
All right, so are we gonna now do it ourselves?
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring out a bunch
Just
of
leave that. That's
objects.
getting in your way here.
I can't believe the amount of stuff we have in this bag.
Wait, I feel like maybe you should do
Just pick.
one
You know what?
more.
Let's just pick like one or two of your favorites.
bubble
That's
wrap.
it.
Bubble wrap.
I just thought I would let them
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go nuts on it. This seems loud though.
Now, bubble wrap, I enjoy the popping, the feeling. Is that a thing? Does that count?
Yeah, like in the work that I do in the live ASMR shows, the sense of feeling and touch is a part of it, which is something that's kind of missed in the YouTube videos.
Okay.
What does that mean? You go into the crowd and you touch people's arms, or
So
what?
the way our shows work is we rent out an Airbnb, and
Oh my god, this is awesome.
Wow.
we maintain a cast to audience ratio of
Does
1 to
the
1.
Airbnb know?
Yeah,
Okay.
like we've
1
managed to
to 1
find ones that
ca-
are pretty chill with it.
You said 1-to-1 cast audience.
Yeah.
So how big could the audience be?
So if we have like 8 performers, we have 8 audience members come in, and if we start with like a sound bath, and then we go into individual one-on-one treatments. So we kind of use all 5 senses.
Oh, cool. Well, when's the next one?
Let's
right?
get to popping.
All right, so I'm gonna wait. Do you want to give me some pointers on how to do it? So I'm gonna hold this thing that has 2 rubber human ears on it, and then you want me to pop it right away. What I got the vibe is I kind of like.
Yeah, it's all about being slow, taking your time, introducing things gradually, especially because we're on a podcast right now and the listeners can't see what you're doing. So talking about what you're doing, introducing it.
What about also kind of like putting in some positive messages, like, "Hey, you're great."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that people
You did great
people
today at
watch
work.
ASMR for that kind of positive reinforcement. It's it's all about
Therapy
making people
is
feel
good,
good.
too.
Therapy is amazing.
How would I give it, or I say my
Everyone-
problem?
I'm going to tell my therapist next time.
Talk to me like that.
Like, your problem is with.
I think just remember that your thoughts aren't concrete.
I love it.
You're a manifester.
You're. All right, wait. This is great.
Those real things.
So I got a bunch of I was gonna say that seemed like it came from a real place. Okay, so I'm gonna I have bubble wrap. Why am I telling this microphone about it? Come here.
Come here.
What's up? My dad just sent me all these books, and they were first edition. So we put them in a lot of bubble wrap. Oh man, it's everywhere.
Stop.
Thanks for being so helpful, Cecily. So now I'm gonna, before I pop it, I'm gonna like kind of feel it a little bit. Most of these aren't popped, but a couple of them are. Here comes one.
Oh.
Maybe it's more, yeah.
Like, keep it further away.
Is it good? Okay.
That's way better.
Yeah, that's great.
It was too close the first time. It was too close to the ear. That one was just right. This might be fucking overload, but I'm gonna twist them all up and pop all of them. It's all I think about when I get bubble wrap. Oh man, cover your ears. Now I'm doing it in your other ear.
Look at this. This is a little joke that I was going to do with it. Watch.
It's a visual joke.
Yeah, but it's a little joke.
that you know Cecily was fake cracking her neck while I was making that noise. She's still doing it.
Cecily, you could do murder podcast themed ASMR.
I gotta make a dad joke.
One more. Because I'm enjoying it. This one's for me. That felt good. The end.
Yay!
Was that a good one?
That was awesome. I liked how you made a story out of it.
Oh, thanks.
With the books and the dad. That was.
Well,
that
then I
was
thought,
really
I was like, why
cool.
would you bubble wrap books? And I thought, well, they're first edition.
edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
You're
you.
like, yes,
I was
ending.
blown away by the story. I was not expecting the story.
Wait until my dad hears this. He's like, what? What? Sent you a bunch of first editions? All right. I think I know whose turn it is. It's easy to watch.
You
and
already
kind
took
of-
all the bubble wrap.
You know what? I have,
easy to
I have a
judge
suggestion. Cecily, that Coke can, a refreshing Coke would be an awesome one to start with.
Ooh, it's
well,
a
I'm not
hot
going to
day.
drink it because I'm not going to get diabetes.
But you can just open it and tap
It's a
on
hot
it and make
day.
sounds with it. Tell a story.
Open it.
You don't know if you can open it?
I have a hard time.
Well, then this will be. Wait, don't open it yet. Wait, you got to build up to it. You're just going to pop it open? We don't want to hear you drink it. We want to hear you open it.
I am not going to drink it.
Okay, so I just got this advertising campaign with Coca-Cola. Original taste. Wow. 190 calories. Canned under authority of the Coca-Cola Company. Atlanta, Georgia. How do we all feel about Georgia these days? Gets me pretty hot. So I gotta relax and have a Coca-Cola. Some people just call it Coke. In the Midwest, we say pop. I actually am having difficulty opening. Oh, good. It's not flat.
Cecily, I now want you to just do 28 things in a row. Just do one more. Just do, it's so great. Oh, God. You really hear the bubbles and stuff, huh?
Yeah, the fizzing. What is this?
That's a tuning fork.
No, that's too advanced. She can't.
I can't do that.
Oh, wow. I just got back from Mardi Gras. I flashed a lot. But now my beads are all twisted up. I can't get them untwisted. How will everybody know that I did all that flashing? If I can't, oops, I dropped them. My beautiful beads. One time, I had a running joke in Chicago that I would have a bag of beads on a bicycle, and I would crash the bike, and I would go, oh no, my beads, all my anal beads, and see if anyone would help me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been neglecting you right here. I think you know why. Would you help me pick up my anal beads? Oh, I've dropped beads on my tuning.
That was beautiful. I like how you also incorporated a story into
Brought the
it.
tuning fork in at the end. Twist ending.
Not too advanced after all.
Okay, so can you just walk me through what you were going to do, though, in Chicago? You're going to crash your bike, and
I
then
wanted to have a paper bag full of beads.
and people would be rushing to help you. And
And then
once
I
you
would
said,
a light crash, not hurt myself, and all the beads would fly out. It was with my friend Dana, and we would go, "Oh no, my beads, my anal beads," and then see if people would help pick them up. All my beads, and I just wanted to have so many.
But they were going to be that size, or
I don't know. I don't have. Again, I'm very vanilla. I'm really outing myself. I don't have a lot of experience with anal beads.
I think you know what? I don't think you're going to regret saying that you don't have experience with anal beads. Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, not to kink shame anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Some
right.
people could think I'm cooler than I am. Now they know I'm not.
All right, that was a real trip. Can you critique how we did?
I think you guys did great. I love that you both put stories into it. I think that's
Sure, it got a little more elaborate as it went. Yeah.
that's a big part of why I think people love ASMR so much, is because in addition to the personal attention, people like to have the feeling of somebody telling them a story. And I love what you did with the I just got an ad campaign for Coca-Cola, because so many ad campaigns are using ASMR. There was
I just heard one.
the beer commercial in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So that didn't work if it had no effect on me, right? Or does it have an effect on some people? And I just didn't feel it.
You know, I think it might be hard to get an effect from it if you're just watching it on a TV without headphones, without the binaural audio.
Well, I want to say, if anybody listening out there had an head orgasm, send me a check.
Oh, from your thing.
Yeah.
Not from Zoe
Just
Kravitz.
for mine.
Or
Just
Zoe
for-
Kravitz.
No. You don't have to send me a check for that.
All right, yeah.
You can send it to Zoe.
Or you can just find Cecily wherever she lives and deliver the check there. Yeah.
Please come to my
Do you want
house.
to give out an address? Or
Yes.
If your mansion?
Yes. If you're the person that got a head orgasm from me, please come to my house.
I think that there's something about humor, it triggers something that doesn't let you relax a little bit, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason on these
Yeah,
meditation apps are like, whoever, Howie Mandel or whatever. It's all like
The funniest guy I can think of.
the funniest guy in the world, or Gallagher, or whoever. Like, but there's a reason it's, like my wife does a lot of these sleep apps.
Oh yeah.
And or sleep stories, and no joke, Matthew McConaughey has like a whole channel or something where he's just talking people to sleep every night.
Wow.
And that's the voice, that's the voice you want to go to sleep to.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm a big fan of adding comedy into any aspect of life, but maybe you're right about that. Because
That's the fun thing about Matthew. You get both, even if he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess laughing and experiencing something funny will give you a burst of energy that might take you out of the relaxation a little bit.
I think that's right. Yeah. You remember back in the 90s, like Jim Carrey would go on The Tonight Show or something. And I was like, when someone's really funny, I feel like I'm funny afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I could be funny. That's probably the worst when you were coming up. You did improv and stuff?
Not until after college.
But I think you go to those improv shows.
But I mean, I did.
The audience thinks they can,
Right.
because they're around. You're being funny, and they're like, "I'm funny too." But I guess you want someone who's very relaxing like you, and then you feel more relaxed. It's kind of contagious, whatever the energy is.
Yeah. It's like how the comedy energy is. It's contagious, and it makes you. It's like an adrenaline rush, and this is kind of the opposite of that.
Well, thank you. I think we should kind of end it there. I actually feel more relaxed than I did at the beginning, so it worked.
Oh, great.
Carly, tell us where to find you. Is Whisper Lodge?
Yeah, so the company I work with is Whisper Lodge. Their website is whisperlodge.nyc, and they're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as Whisper Lodge. And my personal website is carlyblair.com, and Blair Carly on Instagram. And at those places you'll find a lot of stuff that's not ASMR related, but might be interesting too.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Awesome,
so much
and
for having me. This
Thank you for
was
being
super
gentle in our
fun.
first time here.
Aw.
Thoughts?
What do you think?
Um,
I feel like you're not into it at all.
it's not. No, I think it doesn't. Like I feel tired, but I also feel like
You tired, like relaxed, or
Yeah, I guess relaxed,
Or
but
bored.
also, but I do feel like I could sit in a room and feel tired. Like if just being quiet, I would be relaxed.
You think that she was quiet brought the pace down, but also
right?
Right. I felt when I closed my eyes that last time she was doing it, and I could hear it. I'm hoping when listeners are listening to this, they can hear it in both ears. I assume.
I think like the objects were better for me. Like I just can't get past somebody whispering to me. I think. I can't get past
you
the
thought
whisper.
she was so sweet though.
Oh, I know, and none of this is. This is just me. This is my neuroses.
If you can't get down with her,
It's
in terms of
because her,
strangers,
yes.
that's it. Right, it's over.
It's Carly. Tell me about it. I'm a hermit.
Cecily, you're awesome. I actually think you're the right person to do this because I'll tell you why. Even though you didn't enjoy it, I think like you
Listen,
doing
I didn't
it.
not enjoy it. I just don't think it. I didn't get a brain orgasm.
I would say I got the brain first base is how I feel. Like I liked it. You know what I mean? Like I was into it. It was when I had the earphones on and it was kind of like I'd feel her brushing one ear. Actually, it was weird. I thought when she first started brushing it, I thought you were doing this to the couch next to me. It's kind of like, and then
Stop. But it is
Turned out it was
that.
in my head.
See that reaction that you would have felt if I were to do that next to you.
Yes.
That's how it all is to me.
I gotcha. The other thing I can't get over is if they're doing these Airbnb shows where it's 1-to-1. I'm sorry, you got to bring security. It can't be one like the guys that must show up. And she's a pretty young girl. Like that's like she's gonna give you a back scratch and
Yeah,
tell
that's
you
what I'm telling you. It's like
brush your hair.
They're coming to fuck you.
You're awesome. I'm so glad we got to meet. Thank you so much for
Thank you for
opening
live.
yourself up.